We've taken a trip to Iowa for this episode as the Rockies will play at the Field of Dreams. The stadium is now in MLB The Show 21. Here's a look at the stadium itself with the cornfield behind the outfield fence. I'm definitely looking forward to the White Sox and Yankees Field of Dreams game, but when I saw I could have it here in franchise, I had to check it out. Now, the story recently for our Rockies has been the pitching actually being really good. The bullpen has been dependable, and Yonny Chirinos is putting together a really good season, and I wanted to pitch with him today at the Field of Dreams. It's in the Classic Stadiums tab, by the way, if you want to play a franchise game there yourself. But here we are, Dyersville, Iowa. 8,000 capacity crowd, ready for the Padres and the Rockies. Now, Yonny Chirinos was a Rule 5 pickup for us from the Tampa Bay Rays, and he has a 4.2 ERA, 1.4 WHIP. They're not like ridiculously good numbers or anything, but the fact that we could at least perhaps find an average starter in the Rule 5 draft, considering where we've been in this series, is really nice. And when Chirinos is having a good day, this is what you're going to see most of the time. Ground balls weakly hit in the infield. Starting the day with a ground out and a pop-up behind third base. That brings up Fernando Tatis Jr. We faced him a couple times recently, and he hits it sharply over to Ryan McMahon. It's a 1-2-3 first for Yonny Chirinos. Back in episode 24, we took on Mike Clevinger, and he started out very well against us. He picked up 8 strikeouts in 4 1/3 innings, but in that 5th inning that he got taken out of, he allowed 4 runs. We won the game. He's back to take on the Rockies again. Raimel Tapia starts almost every game with a hit and just misses getting a hit here to start. Sam Hilliard batting second, 0-2 count, bounce to the right side, and a foot race to first that Clevinger wins by a half step. And Ryan McMahon, of course, back with the big league team now, and he gets out in front of the cutter and pops it up for Austin Nola. 1-2-3 for Clevinger. Yonny Chirinos, top of the second, facing Alex Dickerson. He chases the slider inside. Chirinos gets ahead, and the 0-2 rolled over to Ryan McMahon. Easy play. Now, Chirinos has not been a big strikeout pitcher. He's just getting 6 strikeouts per 9 innings, which puts him on the lower end. He gets an 0-2 versus Austin Nola. Misses up, and Nola almost hits it off the foul pole. 2-2. That's more like it. Kept that pitch down. Nola grounds it. Easy play. We'll go into the second inning. Garrett Hampson, 1 down. He gets a pitch up and connects. Deep left field. Hampson exits into the cornfield. And the Rockies go up 1-0. Clevinger missed up with the slider, and Hampson is all over it. Now, I was curious about the dimensions here at this ballpark. It is 335 down the lines, 400 feet to dead center, so seems like a pretty good hitting environment. Connor Joe deep right, and that one's going to bounce and hit the wall. Connor Joe with another double. That brings up Dom Nunez, going after a high fastball at 96 and missing. The 1-1 is way outside, and the count eventually runs full, and Nunez draws the walk. So 2 on, 2 down. But for the pitcher, Yonny Chirinos. He has a 111 average. Can he come through for the Rockies? 0-1. There's a pretty good cutter. And the 0-2, a fastball up and in. Chirinos strikes out. He goes back to the mound and makes a nice play on a ground ball right back to him. And he retires Will Myers. A lot of these just failing to leave the infield. Nice slider on the outside corner. 2-2 with the fastball, and Chirinos picks up the strikeout against Trent Grisham. Going bottom 3. Tapia grounded out to start the game, but now past Hosmer at first. That is a base hit to right. Sam Hilliard gets ahead in the count, and Clevenger misses badly a couple times. 3-1, and a good take on the curveball. 2 on, nobody down. Here is Ryan McMahon. He jumps on the first pitch, and this one is driven deep to right field. Ryan McMahon, 3-run homer. And the Rockies open up the lead against Mike Clevenger. Got a fastball up and just crushed it. Number 6 on the season. Good to see McMahon back up with the big league team, giving us that power that we've been looking for. A 4-run lead against Mike Clevenger. Going top 4 now, top of the order. This is Jake Cronenworth. He gets jammed behind third base, but it falls in for the Padres' first hit. He wants second base, and Hilliard throws him out. 2 down. Fernando Tatis Jr. gets one over the plate. It's into right field. He's got elite speed. He wants to get to second, and this could have been an out with a better throw. But it's a double for Fernando Tatis Jr. Padres trying to get on the scoreboard. Manny Machado, 2-1, and a great splitter from Chirinos. Count eventually runs full, and he comes back with the slider just below the knees for strike 3 out of the 4th. Charlie Blackmon getting the start today as Garrett Hampson's actually playing in the infield. Javi Baez gets the day off. It hasn't been the season that we were hoping for from Charlie Blackmon. He started off really just not reaching base, hitting around like 220, which isn't typical for him. But he connects on the fastball. This one out to right. Goodbye. Charlie Blackmon's 5th homer of the season. We hadn't seen much power from him early on either. But great day for him to come out and deliver a nice hit for the offense. I actually had him batting 7th in this game, lower than I've ever had him in the batting order. And he was really only playing because Baez's energy was really low. Dom Nunez, sharp single into center field, so trying to bunt him to second. Chirinos, a slow one down the first base line, and Chirinos has bunted for a hit. 2 on for the Rockies, and Dave Roberts, now managing the Padres, has seen enough. He saw what happened in the previous matchup where Clevenger struggled against us. Well, it's happened again. 3 homers into his day. He's out. Yu Darvish, again out of the bullpen facing us. We've faced him like the last 3 games that we've done matchups against the Padres. Sam Hilliard, patient, not going after the cutter. Count runs full. A high drive hit deep to right, and Sam Hilliard has the 4th homer at the Field of Dreams for the Rockies. 8-0 Colorado. We might be in this Iowa cornfield, but we're hitting like we're still in Coors Field. 8-0, and Chirinos putting together an unbelievable start. He strikes out Dickerson. Will Myers on the ground right at Hampson. Now, it's his first game of the season in the infield, so is anybody shocked that he airmails it out of play? That's actually supposed to be his primary position, I'm pretty sure. But he's going to stick to the outfield most of the time. So, a base runner at second. Trent Grisham on the ground. Easy tag, 3 down. And we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 down for Charlie Blackmon. And this one's driven in the air to right field. This one's high, it is deep, and it is gone! 5th homer for the Rockies and the 2nd for Charlie Blackmon. We may be at the Field of Dreams, but it's been a nightmare for the San Diego Padres. 9-0, 5 home runs. And by the way, Yonny Chirinos still pitching a shutout into the 6th inning. Sharp single into center. San Diego trying to get something started. Top of the order, Cronenworth, a bouncer over to Hampson, out at second, good turn by McMahon, double play. 2 down, Eric Hosmer, on the ground for Ryan McMahon. You're not seeing a lot of flyouts in this game. And that's what I really like about Yonny Chirinos. I felt like playing in our ballpark especially, you want a pitcher like Marcus Stroman or Kyle Hendricks who might not get a lot of strikeouts, but gets a lot of weak contact, keeps the ball on the ground. And Yonny Chirinos, I think, is filling that need for us. He pops up Tatis and Machado in the 7th, pitching into the 8th. Here's a drive to the gap, and it's a catch in right center field. A chance to get through the 8th for Chirinos, but this one is hammered to right, down the line, and fair by Trent Grisham. The Padres will not be shut out at the Field of Dreams, but they're still down by 8 runs. Not a complete game for Yonny Chirinos, and in the 9th, I decided why not have a position player out there. This time it's actually intentional. Javi Baez has taken the mound on what was going to be his day off. Welcome to the game. You're facing Fernando Tatis Jr. 1-0. That one's drilled, but Tatis a little ahead of it. Maybe a bit less velocity than he's used to here. How are we not getting a call on that, by the way? Tatis fouls off a pretty good fastball from Baez, so we end up with a 3-2 count. Baez hits the inside with the sinker. Tatis can't believe it. He kind of has an argument because that fastball earlier wasn't called in like the same exact spot. But Baez has an MLB strikeout against Fernando Tatis. He's not as lucky, though, against Manny Machado, who hits this one to right center field. That is a double. And then, got to keep him in for at least 3 hitters. And this is Dickerson at the plate. 2-2. Missing outside. Should have had that strike 3 call on the previous pitch, too. So then we go to Austin Gomber trying to actually end the game now. 2 on, 1 down. Strike 3 for Austin Nola. Nice pitch on the inside by Gomber. And then it's up to Will Myers. That one is swung on and missed. That's the fastball. And 3-2. Gomber ends the game with a nice changeup to strike out Will Myers. Fun game here at the Field of Dreams as the Rockies win 9-1, hitting 5 home runs. This really feels like the most complete game that we've played in the entire series. Going yard 5 times, getting a great start from Yonny Chirinos, allowing just the 1 run. He pitched extremely well. This team has a lot of potential. They're just so inconsistent. We don't hit like this very often. We've had so many games lately where we're just lucky to get on the board, and if we're not hitting home runs, it's been difficult to score. But hopefully, as we remain patient with this team, we start to see performances like this on a more regular basis. Rough start for Clevenger, worse than his previous one against us. Now, Yonny Chirinos has the ERA under 4 with that start. This was his 6th quality start of the season. And here is the K per 9 at 6.1, a 3.1 walk per 9. You'd like to bring that down. 0.5 home run per 9. Really happy with his season. Now the next day against the Padres, they scored, but we still won 8-7. And Charlie Blackmon hit another home run. So did Adam Duvall and Zach Borenstein. The Rockies pick up the win despite a rough start for Derek Rodriguez. Now, I'm really thinking a lot about Charlie Blackmon because of his play in this episode, and recently with him pinch hitting and getting some at-bats, the numbers have gotten better, and despite his regression, now everything is suddenly very comparable to a year ago. And what this team is missing right now is stability on offense. Getting on base more often, scoring without the long ball. So I am a lot more interested now in Charlie Blackmon playing every day. If he's reaching base like this and getting some power as well. He's hitting .270 and has the 2nd highest OPS on the team. And he is hitting the ball much better now than he was earlier in the season. Now, there's been a lot of talk about potentially trading him in this series, but I really don't think that at 73 overall, and a fairly large contract that you're going to get anything notable in return. I think you're much better off keeping Charlie Blackmon likely through this contract because it's not really hurting our budget. He has one of the only large contracts on the entire team. And at the very worst, I think he's going to be able to reach base, hit for good contact, and maybe now a bit more power. That one is off of that railing. That almost left. Would have been another homer for Charlie Blackmon, but will take the triple. So if this keeps up, he obviously is going to be playing every day, and that's going to impact the outfield playing time, and I think it would probably hurt Sam Hilliard the most. This season, Hilliard is hitting like 220 and is on pace for like 22 home runs. So basically, he is the modern MLB middle of the order power hitter. I like Hilliard. I want to keep developing these players, but I also want the offense to just be better constructed. And being that we're a National League team, your bench gets a lot of playing time, and I think I'd rather have Hilliard's power and speed perhaps coming off the bench as long as Charlie is playing pretty well. We need more base runners. Tapia reaches a lot, Nunez reaches a lot, Hampson. But I feel like it's time to get Charlie Blackmon back as an everyday starter again for us. Probably bat him fairly high in the order. Not sure exactly how I want to set it exactly. Do I need Tapia and Charlie at the very top? Or can I balance it out a bit more and have him batting like 5th? So you have like a high on base guy, number 1, 5, and 8. How would you construct this lineup going forward so we can maximize our chances of actually scoring some runs? We did not do a good job of that here in this matchup against the Phillies, and this has been one of the more typical games recently for us, where the pitching does a really good job. So much better than last season, but how many games are you winning scoring 1? Andrew Heaney takes the loss in this matchup, allowing 3 in 5 innings, getting just 3 strikeouts. We are going to sim all the way to the All-Star break, but here's another bad game, 14-0. Complete game shutout for Aaron Nola. They put up 14. I guess that tops our Field of Dreams performance today for a complete game. So we get swept by the Phillies in 4 games. Get 4 games against Atlanta. That leads to a split. And against San Francisco going into the break, they take 2 out of 3. We have a 39-52 record. We should win many more games than we did a year ago. Here is a look at the participants in this year's Home Run Derby. Will Smith has 25. He's had a great year. Andrew Vaughn breaking out for the White Sox. And for the All-Star game, at least we just got shut out by the National League ace in the All-Star game. But everybody's fallen for our team here. Darren O'Day, you have to scroll to find him. Javi Baez, same story at shortstop. He's only hitting like 220 right now. He's still hitting home runs, but there are so many good shortstops in the National League. And then Tapia is even way down at center because his average has come down like 15, 20 points in the last few weeks. So we're going to have one All-Star. I have no idea who it's going to be. I think I'd probably give it to Tapia or Baez. But what I'm also wondering is, would you like another All-Star episode like I did back in year 1, where I showed off the Home Run Derby? Really good one, by the way. Xander Bogaerts put on a show, and then we played the All-Star game. But do you want another episode like that, even if the Rockies aren't really much part of it? Let me know in the comment section. I'll take a look at the feedback before I record next episode, and I'll do my best to keep getting these out alongside Madden 22 content. I believe I'll be playing that tomorrow with the early access, and I have a lot of things I want to do, especially in the early days with Madden, so we'll see when the next Rockies video is posted. But I enjoy playing this so much, I'm sure I'll find the time to get a couple of games in. But let me know down in the comment section what you think, everybody. Hope you enjoyed today's game, and who knows, I might have a few more plans for visiting some stadiums at various points. That was a lot of fun to go to the Field of Dreams for this episode. But please leave a like if you enjoyed today's episode and subscribe to the channel. There's much more Rockies franchise to come. And have a great day, everybody.